What's up, everybody? It's Uzi. Today we're counting down the 10 US cities you might want to reconsider living in before 2026. We're talking sky-high rents, wild weather, and some challenges you won't see coming. No fake paradise shots here, just the real deal. Stick around because the #1 city might just shock you. First up, San Francisco, the city of iconic views, rolling fog, and those world-famous cable cars. For decades, this city has been a symbol of innovation, diversity, and the California dream. From the Golden Gate Bridge stretching across the bay to the colorful Victorian houses lining the hills, San Francisco has always had a magnetic pull for dreamers, techies, and artists alike. But beneath the postcard-perfect scenery, a much harsher reality is unfolding. The cost of living here has skyrocketed to levels that are almost unimaginable. What was once a city for everyone now feels like a playground for the ultra-rich. Rents have soared, and even a modest apartment can set you back more than what many people pay for a mortgage elsewhere. The dream of living in San Francisco is now out of reach for most, replaced by the stress of making ends meet. To put it in perspective, renting a one-bedroom apartment here can cost you more than the price of a brand new Tesla every single year. And that's just rent, before you even think about utilities, parking, or the cost of simply enjoying the city. For many, the choice is between living in a cramped space or leaving the city altogether. Everyday expenses are just as brutal. Groceries are marked up, gas prices are among the highest in the nation, and grabbing a bite at a local restaurant can feel like a luxury splurge. Even basic necessities like a carton of eggs or a gallon of milk can leave your wallet hurting. It's no wonder so many residents are feeling the squeeze. And it's not just the cost of living. The tech industry, once the city's golden ticket, is facing massive layoffs and uncertainty. Once bustling offices now sit half-empty, and headlines about job cuts are becoming all too common. Even those with high-paying jobs are finding it tough to keep up with the relentless rise in expenses, and the dream of owning a home here is slipping further away. The city feels more divided than ever. In some neighborhoods, you'll see luxury homes and people living lives of incredible comfort, seemingly untouched by the city's struggles. The ultra-wealthy continue to thrive, enjoying private amenities and exclusive events, while the rest of the city faces a daily battle just to get by. For most people, life in San Francisco means long commutes, crowded apartments, and constant worry about making rent. The gap between the haves and have-nots is growing, and the sense of community that once defined the city is fading away. People are working multiple jobs, cutting back on essentials, and still struggling to keep their heads above water. Thinking about buying a house here? Forget it. The real estate market is so out of reach that even well-paid professionals can't afford to buy. Open houses attract crowds, but most leave disappointed, realizing that homeownership in San Francisco is just a fantasy for all but the wealthiest. It's no surprise that more and more people are packing up and leaving. Moving trucks are a common sight as families and young professionals search for a better quality of life elsewhere. If you're considering a move to San Francisco, you might want to think twice before taking the plunge. The good news? There are plenty of other cities across the US where you can actually enjoy life without breaking the bank. From vibrant communities to affordable housing and a lower cost of living, your dream lifestyle might be waiting for you somewhere else, without the sticker shock of San Francisco. Next, we're heading to New Orleans, a city that pulses with life, music, and a culture unlike anywhere else in the United States. Known for its vibrant jazz scene, world-famous cuisine, and historic neighborhoods, New Orleans is a place where every street corner tells a story, and every festival feels like a celebration of life itself. But beneath the lively surface, this city faces a challenge that grows more urgent every year. The city's culture is unmatched, but it's facing a huge threat: rising sea levels and stronger, more frequent hurricanes. New Orleans sits below sea level, surrounded by water on all sides, making it especially vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. As the Gulf of Mexico warms and polar ice melts, the water keeps creeping higher, putting more pressure on the city's levees and flood defenses. Hurricane Katrina, in 2005, was a devastating warning of what can happen when nature overwhelms human engineering. The storm left much of the city underwater, destroyed thousands of homes, and displaced entire communities. Since then, storms have only grown more intense, and the threat of another disaster looms every hurricane season. Every hurricane season brings anxiety and uncertainty. Residents must be ready to evacuate at a moment's notice, sometimes leaving behind everything they own. The emotional toll is immense as families pack up their lives and hope their homes will still be standing when they return. Even on sunny days, some neighborhoods experience flooding simply because the water table is so high and the drainage systems are overwhelmed. It's not just hurricanes. Heavy rain or high tides can turn streets into rivers, making daily life unpredictable and sometimes dangerous. Living here means being prepared for natural disasters year after year. Residents keep emergency kits ready, stock up on supplies and reinforce their homes with sandbags and storm shutters. Community resilience is strong, but the constant threat is a heavy burden. The risk is real, and it's not going away. Infrastructure is aging, and repairs can't always keep up with the damage caused by repeated storms and flooding. For many, the question isn't if another disaster will strike, but when. If you're considering making New Orleans your home, it's important to understand the challenges as well as the charms. The city's spirit is unbreakable and its people are fiercely proud, but living here means embracing the unpredictable and preparing for whatever nature brings next. Now let's talk Miami. When you think of this city, you probably picture endless sunshine, palm trees swaying in the breeze, and that iconic skyline rising above turquoise waters. Miami has long been a symbol of paradise, a place where people come to escape, to party, and to soak up the sun. But beneath the glitz and glamour, a very different story is unfolding, one that's changing the way people live, work, and even dream about the future here. Miami's beaches and nightlife are legendary, drawing millions of visitors every year. The city pulses with energy, from the vibrant Art Deco buildings of South Beach to the electric nightlife that keeps the city awake until dawn. But as the party continues, a silent threat is creeping ever closer. Rising sea levels fueled by climate change are putting Miami's very existence at risk. The ocean, once the city's greatest asset, is now becoming its greatest challenge. Flooding during high tide is already common, turning streets into rivers and making daily commutes unpredictable. Salt water seeps into the ground, damaging not just roads and cars, but also the lush landscaping that gives Miami its tropical feel. Residents have grown used to seeing water bubbling up from storm drains even on sunny days, a phenomenon known as sunny day flooding. It's a constant reminder that the city is on the front lines of climate change. As the water rises, so do the costs. Insurance premiums in Miami are skyrocketing, making it harder and harder for families to afford to stay. Some insurance companies are pulling out altogether, leaving homeowners scrambling for coverage. For many, the financial strain is simply too much. Abandoned homes and empty lots are becoming more common, as people make the heartbreaking decision to leave behind the place they once called paradise. And it's not just the wealthy waterfront mansions that are at risk. Miami's unique geology, its porous limestone ground, means that water doesn't just come in from the coast. Even neighborhoods miles inland are experiencing flooding as water rises up from below. This makes traditional solutions like seawalls less effective. The entire city, from the ritziest condos to the most modest homes, is vulnerable. The relentless advance of the sea is slowly swallowing Miami. Coastline erosion is eating away at beaches, and buildings that once stood safely inland now find themselves perilously close to the water's edge. The city is spending billions on pumps, raised roads, and other defenses, but the ocean keeps coming. It's a race against time, and the outcome is far from certain. For those who remain, living in Miami means adapting to a new normal. Residents wade through flooded streets, and kayaks have become a common sight in some neighborhoods. Every heavy rainstorm brings anxiety, as people wonder if their homes will stay dry. It's a slow-motion disaster, unfolding day by day, reshaping lives and communities. Paradise comes with a price, and in Miami, that price is only getting higher. The city's real estate market is feeling the pressure, with some properties losing value, while others become unaffordable due to soaring insurance costs. Climate protests and calls for action are growing louder as residents fight to save their city. Miami's future hangs in the balance, a stark reminder that even paradise is not immune to the forces of nature. Next up, Detroit. Once the heart of the auto industry, Detroit still struggles with economic decline and urban blight. Infrastructure is crumbling and crime and poverty remain high. Some neighborhoods are bouncing back, but many are still struggling. The contrast between hope and hardship is stark. Detroiters are resilient, but the city's challenges are far from over. It's a tough place to start fresh. Now, Chicago. The city's architecture and culture are world-class, but crime and financial instability are big issues. Gun violence still plagues certain neighborhoods, casting a shadow over the city. Imagine hearing sirens and gunshots as part of daily life. Chicago's massive budget deficit has led to cuts in essential services. The city's problems run deep, and many are choosing to leave. It's a city of contrasts, vibrant but troubled. Think carefully before making Chicago your home. Welcome to Los Angeles. Behind the Hollywood glamour, Louisiana faces wildfires, drought, and an affordability crisis. Wildfires threaten homes every year, forcing thousands to evacuate. The mega-drought is drying up the landscape and tightening water restrictions. Housing costs are sky-high, pushing people out. Living in LA means dealing with disaster season after season. The risks are real and the challenges keep growing. LA's shine comes with serious downsides. Let's head to Phoenix. Once known for affordable living, Phoenix now faces extreme heat and water shortages. Summer temperatures regularly top 110 degrees. The relentless heat makes daily life tough and energy bills soar. Water is becoming scarce and relief is hard to find. Scientists predict even more extreme heat in the future. Phoenix's growth is at risk as the climate gets harsher. The desert sun is unforgiving. Now, New York City. The city never sleeps, but the cost of living is exhausting. Rent, groceries, and transportation are among the highest in the world. Finding an affordable apartment is nearly impossible. The crowds, noise, and constant hustle can wear you down. Space is tight and every dollar counts. NYC's energy is unmatched, but it can chew you up if you're not prepared. Living here is a grind. Make sure it's worth it. Next, Portland. Known for its cool vibe, Portland is struggling with a growing homeless crisis and rising crime. Tents and shelters line the streets and parks. The sight of so much hardship is hard to ignore. Property crime and drug issues are on the rise. Many residents feel less safe in their own city. The challenges are mounting and solutions are slow. Portland's charm is being tested. Now Houston. This city is a hub for energy and healthcare, but it's no stranger to disaster. Hurricanes and floods are a constant threat. Hurricane Harvey showed just how vulnerable Houston is. Even regular rainstorms can cause major flooding. Aging infrastructure makes things worse. As climate change brings more extreme weather, the risks are only increasing. Living in Houston means always being ready for the next big storm. There you have it, 10 US cities facing serious challenges. Each has its own unique appeal, but the risks are real. Do your research and weigh the pros and cons before making a move. Did your city make the list? Let me know in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, stay safe and stay awesome.